You are not defined by what you have, bro. So, and that take a little while to understand. You may have to go broke. You may have to lose a job to truly understand that, bro, you're still worthy, even if you don't have the things that make you look important or worthy. So just remember, bro, you aren't defined by you not having money or you not having a job. Because I remember a time in my life where I didn't have a job and I felt worthless. And sometimes I allow social media, or to be honest, I allow women perspective on what type of man they wanted to make me feel like, I was worthless. And another thing that us guys need to understand that just because you may want a certain type of woman, at the end of the day, bro, she still have to like you back. So no matter if you have a nice car or a nice watch or 100,000 in the bank, bro, she doesn't like you. She's just going to see you for what you have. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to your character. Who are you as a person? That's what really defines you. How do you treat people when things aren't going right in life? How do you talk to people even though you may feel down or depressed that day, or sad or anything? Your character, defines who you are. So don't worry about you not having a bunch of materialistic things, because at the end of the day, you can't take none of this with you when it's your time. But you can take your character. People can remember. They won't remember you for what you have. They'll remember you for who you are. See, somebody that come to my mind like this is like Kobe, a good basketball player, a legend. Yes, he was nice on the court, but he wasn't just remembered for what he did on the court. He was remembered for his mentality. He studied his opponents. He studied their moves. He was, in the gym 5 a.m. He was up early working on his craft. So that right there just shows what type of person he is. He truly loved the game. His character is why people remember him. Not because he was rich, not because he had, a bunch of money or, you know, just anything that is materialistically, bro. They remember him for who he was, his character. So remember, bro, before you try to work on getting more money or getting more of this, make sure your character is right, because sometimes doors in our life won't open because of how we act or how our character is. Some things may not work out because we're not ready to walk in certain rooms yet. Why? Because our character isn't where it needs to be in that room. You have to act a certain way. You have to have a certain type of mindset to meet certain individuals. You know, you are who you hang around, and that's a true statement I learned growing up, because it's who you are. Who you are and who you hang around, it plays a part, because you're only going to hang around those who you find anything relatable, anything that is in common. You're only going to hang around those who do the same thing as you, who laugh at the same things you laugh, because how else would you enjoy their company? How else would they enjoy your company? You're not going to hang around somebody you don't have things in common with, or you're not going to hang around somebody who you barely know. And so the truth is, bro, you're not defined by what you have. You're defined by who you are. So, spend more time working on your character. Spend more time not being hard on yourself, but just working on yourself, meaning your character. Working on yourself is not just about getting more money. Working on yourself means I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to do little small habits that's going to make me go towards a certain lifestyle or a certain type of mindset, so I can sustain this type of lifestyle. Your character, bro, will help you find great connections. It'll help you network. It'll help you come across people who are maybe better thinker, smarter, but you want to be around those who have more than you mentally, who are, have a greater, high morals, more respect for themselves. And I'm just coming to learn, like, bro, it's my character. It's my character that get me this far. It's the way I think that get me far in this life. Because you can make money and still have a negative mindset. You can make a lot of money and still be bitter. So it's not about the money. It's not about the cars. You know, it's your character. Who are you at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, just like I said, you can't take none of this with you. People will only remember you for who you are and not for what you have. They won't care. They're going to want your possessions once you pass, but they'll always remember what type of person you was. You know, and that'll change somebody's mindset on even wanting what you had, or understanding that the person you became before you had it will make them think like, wow, I need to change my mindset to even do what he did, or to even be on that type of level. You know, so just remember that, bro. You aren't defined by what you have, but by who you are. So work on your character more than you want money. I'll catch you on the next one.